Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the All About Favor channel. And today is Testimony Tuesday. Testimony Tuesday. Now, some of you love to use the quote, well, I had to go through the test before I got to the testimony. So, I gave you a couple of words on Monday that surrounds most of the testimonies that I received via the email, as well as to tell the truth Thursday's emails. So the only words that I could think of that coincide with these two episodes, the words declutter and detach. Declutter and detach. Now, those are some powerful words when you think about it and when you think about things going on within your own personal life. So when I think of the word detach, the word detach means to me disengaging. You're disengaging from something. You're separating yourself from something. You're removing yourself from something or someone. You can not only detach from situations, but you can detach from people. Now, when it comes to dealing with people and detaching from them, sometimes there's not a clean break. Sometimes there's not a peaceful separation. But today we want to talk about learning to detach yourself from people and from situations, but in a peaceful way where you can just walk away and not have to feel guilt or shame about doing it. You know, sometimes when you want to have that difficult conversation with someone that you want to detach yourself from, it's hard, especially if you have had a relationship with those people for any length of time. And the next word is declutter. Declutter. I don't know about you, but personally, I cannot stand clutter. I can't stand walking into a room and it's just stuff everywhere, just stacked up stuff. That lets me know it's time to organize this place and declutter. Now, use the same method for your life. Sometimes, well, a lot of times, you need to declutter your life. What are you saying, Pastor K? What I'm saying is decluttering also means removing. But in this instance, you're removing unnecessary things that no longer serve you. That was a word for somebody. Removing unnecessary things or people that no longer serve you. You've either outgrown them or you're just going in different directions. So to declutter means to get rid of things unnecessary that is crowding your space. Anybody can relate to that? So I'm only going to give you two illustrations from two emails I got because I'm finding these emails, it's a lot to unpack. It's a lot going on in them, and I am so glad that you are venting and you are sharing and you're writing this stuff down in your journals, because I know it seems hard, but in the long run, it begins to be therapy for you. So now, testimony number one, and I'm reading from my notes because I want to give you clear illustrations of what they're saying. The email starts off by saying, Pastor K, I am a survivor. I am a survivor. She opened that up with a mouthful right there. So that means that she went through something, but she came through it. She came out okay. So she says, I am a survivor of an abusive marriage. She said, but I thank God he gave me the courage to leave. You know, a lot of people stay. A lot of people don't leave for whatever reason. They stay. But she said, thank God that he gave me courage to leave. And she says, this I know coincides with Tell the Truth Thursday's episode, Pastor, but I had to tell you the truth before I got to the testimony. I got to speak the truth before I give my testimony. She says, I am a former first lady. Wow. Can we just unpack being a first lady for a minute? A lot of us are members of churches, and we see the first ladies. They're sitting there beautifully adorned with their hats and crowns on, and we don't even know their story. She's saying, I am a former first lady, meaning my husband was the pastor. Many Sundays I missed service, she says. Why did I miss service? Because my ribs hurt from being kicked in them. My back hurt from being stomped on. My eyes were swollen shut from him beating me. Yep, we're talking about the pastor who was my husband. Let that sit in your spirit just for a moment. She said, my husband and father of my children had beaten me so bad. And you know what hurt? The deacons and other members was covering up for him. Anyway, she says, I'm supposed to give my testimony, so here goes my testimony. You gave us 2 words on Monday, detach and declutter. She says, the best thing I did was detach myself from that monster. Yes, that monster who people revered, people looked up to, people thought we had such a perfect marriage. He would get up and just perform for people about our perfect life. The best thing I could do was declutter my life from this monster, and I removed myself from that situation, and the best thing I did was divorce him and divorce that church. She said, Pastor, it feels so freeing not to have to sit there and pretend. I'm free now. I'm not getting beat on anymore. My self-worth and self-esteem, she says, it was in the toilet. I didn't even think I could do any better. Thank God I had someone in my ear who recommended that I go get counseling. That, along with prayer, gave me the strength I need to walk away. I left the house. I left most of my clothes there. I just wanted to be free. 5 years now, and I am so happy. She said, I have so much joy. And she said, I found a church home that I truly love. And that pressure of sitting there being fake and phony is gone. Thank God for this platform for allowing me to say these things, because I know I would never share this with people because people judge you. And they always say, well, you know, he's the man of God, and touch not my anointed and do my servants no harm. But the servant was beating me up physically, not to mention all of the psychological stuff he was saying to me. He clearly was what today's term is, the classic narcissist. I don't have to do that anymore. I now love myself. I now pamper myself. And Pastor K, thank God I am a testimony, because there are some women who I've known in support groups with since I've been in therapy. They didn't get out with their lives. I'm sad to say, many women stay until they're killed. So I am a living testimony. I got out, I decluttered my life, and I detached myself from all of that toxic environment that I was in, and being forced to sit up every Sunday like everything was okay. I had begun to hate myself. But thank God I love myself. It feels so freeing right now. She's saying, I'm just thankful to God. That was testimony number 1. Let's pause for a moment. What do you all think about that? Please write in the comments. Send me emails of what you think about what she just said. Do you know any first ladies, or do you know any women who have been abused physically and beaten up by the man who's supposed to love them the most, their husband? My sister, bless you. Bless you for sharing, And I thank God right along with you that you got out. Email number 2. Pastor KZ, after 4 miscarriages, my husband left me. And he started a new relationship, got remarried to someone. But long story short, she gave him something that I couldn't. 3 children. 10 years later, I met and married a man who I would never have thought I would even be attracted to. See, sometimes you have to be careful with what you pray for, Pastor K, because sometimes the man that you're praying for, if you don't remember to be specific in your prayers with God and say, okay, I want him 6 feet tall, I want him this complexion, he has to have, I didn't do it. I just say, Lord, send me a man from you. Send me a good husband from you. And she said, the man that came, I tried to like push him away, and I'm like, God, this is you? He don't even look like me. He's of a different race. Him? He's the one? But I'm telling you all of the viewers today on Testimony Tuesday, I married this man. And he is such a good man. He's my friend. We laugh. I mean, it's just so wonderful. Now, I didn't realize just how messed up I was until I met this man. You know, I was guarded. I had my walls up because, you know, I constantly had to hear him say, you can't even give me a kid. You can't get pregnant. What am I supposed to do? When I married you, I thought we was going to have a family. All of that was stressing me out so bad. My face was broken out. I had to go to a dermatologist. She said my eating patterns was off. I had insomnia. She says, I didn't realize how much that messed me up. And she says to the viewers, little things that you overlook can affect your future relationships. But thank God, the man that he sent me was a loving man, and he poured into me. And she began